The Vorthak Armada had swept through 17 star systems in the span of 2 solar cycles, leaving nothing but crystallized ash and the silence of dead worlds in their wake. Their biomechanical ships, grown rather than built, pulsed through space like infected arteries, carrying death to every corner of the galaxy. For 3 millennia, no species had successfully resisted their advance. Admiral Zeke stood on the bridge of the flagship Devourer of Suns, his 6 eyes scanning the tactical display with predatory satisfaction. The latest conquest, the Altarian homeworld, had fallen in less than 4 hours. Their particle shields had crumbled like wet parchment against Vorthak plasma cannons, their cities reduced to molten glass before the population could even comprehend what was happening. "Status report," Zek commanded, his voice a harmonious blend of clicks and subsonic growls that made the bridge crew's exoskeletons vibrate in submission. "All resistance neutralized, Admiral," replied his tactical officer. "Harvesting operations proceeding as planned. We estimate complete planetary strip mining within 60 rotations." Zeke mandibles clicked with approval. The Vorthak way was efficient: consume, harvest, move on. They had perfected this cycle across 1,000 worlds, extracting every useful resource and leaving barren husks behind. Their ships fed on the very planets they conquered, growing larger and more powerful with each victory. "Set course for the next system," he ordered. "Intelligence reports indicate a species calling themselves humans have established colonies there. Their technology appears primitive chemical rockets, basic fusion reactors, laughably weak electromagnetic shields." The navigation officer's claws danced across bio-neural interfaces. "Course plotted, Admiral. The system designation is Sol 3. Estimated arrival in 7 rotations." What Zeke didn't know was that humanity had been watching. Deep space monitoring stations, hidden in asteroid fields and disguised as cosmic debris, had been tracking Vorthak movements for months. Earth's Unified Defense Command had seen the fate of 17 civilizations and understood with crystalline clarity what was coming. Dr. Elena Vasquez stood in the war room beneath NORAD, surrounded by holographic displays showing fleet positions and tactical projections. As humanity's foremost xenobiologist and the architect of their defense strategy, she carried the weight of her species' survival on her shoulders. "They think we're primitives," she said to General Morrison, who stood beside her reviewing battle plans. "That's going to be their first mistake." Morrison nodded grimly. "And their last, if we do this right. How confident are you about the biological weapon?" Elena's smile was sharp as surgical steel. "The Vorthak have conquered through biological superiority for millennia. Their ships are living organisms, their technology bio-integrated. But that's also their greatest weakness: they've never encountered Earth's microbiology. While other civilizations had focused on energy shields and kinetic weapons, humanity had taken a different approach. Earth's biosphere was uniquely diverse, shaped by 4 billion years of evolutionary warfare between countless microscopic organisms. Human scientists had weaponized this biological heritage, creating engineered viruses and bacteria specifically designed to target Vorthak biotechnology. The human fleet that met the Vorthak Armada in the outer reaches of the solar system looked pathetically small, barely 300 ships compared to the aliens' 5,000. Admiral Zek almost felt insulted by the poor showing. Their vessels appear to be constructed from metal alloys. His tactical officer reported with what sounded like amusement. "Crude chemical propulsion systems. No bio-neural networks detected." "How disappointingly primitive," Zeke mused. "Begin standard engagement protocol. I want this over quickly." The first wave of Vorthak ships surged forward, their living hulls rippling with anticipation of fresh prey. But as they closed distance, something unexpected happened. The human ships didn't flee or form defensive positions instead. They charged directly at the center of the Vorthak formation. "Sir, they're not following standard defensive patterns," the tactical officer reported, confusion evident in his biomechanical voice. That's when the human ships exploded. Not from weapons fire, but deliberately, each vessel detonating in brilliant spheres of contained biological warfare. Clouds of engineered microorganisms spread through space, invisible to Vorthak sensors, but devastating to their biotechnology. The first ships to encounter the biological agent began to convulse as their living hulls were consumed by Earth-borne bacteria that treated Vorthak biomatter like an all-you-can-eat buffet. "What's happening to the forward squadrons?" Zeke Thor demanded as his displays showed ship after ship going dark. "Unknown pathogen, Admiral. Our vessels are. They're being eaten from the inside out." The engineered bacteria didn't just attack the ships, they multiplied exponentially. Each Vorthak vessel they consumed, providing more nutrients for reproduction. Within hours, the infection had spread throughout the entire armada. Ships that had grown over centuries began to dissolve, their bioneural networks crashing as microscopic Earth organisms rewrote their genetic code. Admiral Zekthor watched in horror as his flagship's living walls began to crack and bleed. Warning klaxons wailed as life support systems failed one by one. The mighty Vorthak armada, terror of 17 star systems, was being destroyed by creatures too small to see. "Retreat! All ships, retreat!" he commanded, but fewer than 50 vessels remained functional enough to receive the order. Dr. Vasquez monitored the battle from Earth's command center, watching as biological telemetry confirmed the weapon's effectiveness. "Species diversity," she murmured to General Morrison. 4 billion years of evolutionary warfare. They never stood a chance against Earth's microbiology. The surviving Vorthak ships limped away into deep space, carrying with them a terrifying new reality. They were no longer the apex predators of the galaxy. Somewhere in this seemingly primitive system was a species that had turned microscopic life into the most devastating weapon the galaxy had ever seen. Word of humanity's victory spread through surviving civilizations like wildfire. The galaxy's newest species had accomplished what no one thought possible. They had defeated the Vorthak, using nothing but weaponized bacteria and the willingness to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. From that day forward, no species would ever again underestimate the small, seemingly primitive worlds. Sometimes the deadliest predators were the ones too small to see.